When comparing the two shot putters, it is clear that they perform very differently. They employ a variety of tactics, with the exemplary performance excelling at shot put throwing in particular. The athlete's ability to produce power in their throws is the most noticeable difference. To begin, if we look at the example shot putter, we can see how much drive and force he is able to create, resulting in an excellent shot put throw. He accomplishes this through a variety of means. Look at his legs, for example. His legs are somewhat bent and his hip is dropped. His force is created and passed forwards by his bent back leg. The shot putter then begins to spin while rotating forwards at the hips. During the twist, he also pushes with his shoulder, making careful to synchronise the hip and shoulder drive appropriately. He then straightens his torso and legs whilst extending his arm to complete the throw, using this hip and shoulder drive. This demonstrates that the majority of his power is generated not by his arms, but rather by the use of the bigger muscle groups such as legs and glutes to generate forwards force. According to Schofield, the use of greater muscle groups is critical in creating power and accomplishing a shot put throw. It's also worth noting how he leverages his momentum in the wind-up. He uses these muscle groups during the wind-up and then releases the shot put, with his motion providing additional forwards power. His wind-up is fast, creating a much forward motion as possible. When we look at the beginning shot putter, he does not have nearly as much force in his throw. When we examine his performance attentively, we can see that he lacks momentum. He hardly rotates his hips and has no wind-up. Furthermore, he is not bent at the hips and does not bend his legs nearly enough. This makes it incredibly difficult for him to use his larger muscle groups, such as we can see. He's depending primarily on his upper arms and shoulders to generate force and drive the power. According to Howard, athletes must use larger leg muscles such as the glutes to produce power and distance in a shot put throw. Because there is little force coming from the larger muscle groups in this beginner's case, the throw cannot travel nearly as far, and he is depending completely on his shoulder drive. Building on this, we can see that because his legs are bent and there is no leg drive, there is no forwards push from his feet, resulting in the throw failing.